Everyone, it's Samuel from Team 7477 Super 7. Today, we're going to be talking about the Fillet tool on Onshape. So what is the Fillet tool? So if we go to the top left on Onshape, there's this tool called the Fillet tool. And what this does is it takes edges that are rough and sharp and it makes them smoother. And this is really useful in 3D printing, especially because sometimes you don't want your edges to be too sharp and poke you, or in other instances where it needs to be more accurate to match something in the real world, which we'll look at shortly. So we have an image or a CAD of a mallet right now, but there's something missing. If we look at a mallet in the real world, we'll see that the edges are smoother. But these edges are rough. So what we need to do to change that is use the Fillet tool. If we click on this edge right here, and we go to Fillet, we'll see that there's this button called Radius. And if we increase that radius, say to 0.2, that will cause more of an indent. But we don't really want it to be that much. So let's change it back to 0.05. And that should be good. Now let's do the same thing for the other side. And Fillet. This same radius should be pretty good. Now for the bottom, if we can fillet this, it might need to be a bit smaller in radius, maybe something like a 0.035, but this should work as well. And now we've made the mallet more accurate. So that's one example. Let's take a look at a second. So we have these glasses lenses over here. So the edges of the glasses lenses, they're extremely rough and rigid right now. And they're also really sharp. So we want to make it so that way they're not as sharp. What can we use again? The Fillet tool. If we zoom into here, to this edge, and click on Fillet, we can adjust this radius. So this radius should be good for now. And we can zoom out. And now we have one of these edges that's smoother. Now if we go down here, go to this edge, we can click on that and use the Fillet tool. This same radius should be good. It should be good for all of the edges. So if we go here, we can zoom in on this edge now. And if we can click on that, then we can fillet. Then there's that radius. That same radius should be good. And we can do it for the last edge here. And if we fillet this with the same radius, that should be complete. And now we have a fully functioning pair of lenses that has smoother corners. So to summarize this lesson, fillets can be used to basically smoothen the sharper corners, and that can be really useful when 3D printing or matching things in the real world, like a mallet or lens for glasses. Thank you for tuning in. See you in the next one.